Let me ask you something. Why is it that in your area, some contractors never seem to struggle with finding work? They're never talking about, oh, I need more leads, my lead quality sucks, I need to get more projects. That's never even a struggle for them. That's never even a worry for them or even on their mind because they're booked out constantly. And then there's other guys, maybe like yourself, that are spending thousands on Facebook ads or Google ads or these lead platforms, and they're still feeling stuck. They're only booked out a week or maybe 2 weeks. Hi, I'm Isaiah. I'm a third-generation contractor, and I used to feel that exact same thing, that these other guys in business, maybe they had better connections than me, or they've been in this space longer than me, but that was not the case. That was not the problem with my business. I remember this one contractor in particular, where from the outside, you wouldn't really think anything particular of how their business was being ran. But every time I checked his online presence, he was always doing new projects, always was getting new reviews too, and he was always staying very busy. And then I started to think about it, and I was wondering why he was so much busier than everybody else in our area or every other business owner that I knew. So I looked into it more, and what I realized changed everything about how I operated. It wasn't that he was better than us, it was just that he was visible in the right places at the right time and targeting the right types of clients. He started to build trust with everybody in his area that if they ever needed help with any type of project, he was their first call. And this is where a lot of contractors, similar to how I was, get it very wrong. They think that they need more leads, but that's not the problem. Let me explain it like this. There's contractors out there that are constantly staying booked out and not only relying on ads. And here's the key. It's not that they don't run ads, it's that when they run ads, they actually work. Because they're contractors that have been able to build something that most other contractors don't have, a system. So when they turn on ads, it's not like they're just gambling. They know that they have a predictable stream of jobs coming in. Meanwhile, most contractors are stuck doing the complete opposite. They're having to buy leads from these platforms like Angie's List or Home Advisor, or they're having to just compete and get the job by being the cheapest contractor out there. Then they start to think about, why is this so hard? But just think about it. If somebody in your area searches up online, contractor near me, are you being seen? Because if you're not being seen, then you're not even in the same game. And that's what I was seeing with this contractor. It's not that he was showing up every single spot online, it was just that he knew exactly the best spots to be showing up where he was targeting the right clientele. And several years ago, when I started looking deeper into this, it really came down to 3 different main things. The first thing was Google search. This is where the real buyers go. This is where people will actually search up that service that they're wanting. So if they're searching deck contractor or plumber or roof contractor near me, they're searching that individual and needing that project done. Google isn't where you get those tire kickers. They're a lot higher quality leads, which is why when someone types up a service that they're looking for help on, they're wanting that help instantly. So take for example, JJ. He's a contractor we worked with for a long time. When he started with us, he was doing $55,000 per month in closed jobs. Nothing crazy in his area, and for him, he was just running a very small crew. But for him, we helped him get #1 ranked in his area across 10 different keywords and phrases. Now he's been doing consistently over $135,000 every single month. It's the same exact market, he didn't move, he's the same contractor of quality. It's just that these customers were the ones that were reaching out to him. He wasn't the one that was constantly having to follow up with them. He had leads on autopilot because he was being seen as the best contractor in his area. He then wasn't having to compete about price at all. He started to deal with more of those higher level individuals where budget wasn't really an issue. Second, your Google business profile. And this one's pretty crazy because most contractors completely even ignore their profile here. But the reality is when a homeowner sees 50 plus 5-star reviews, when they give you a call, they instantly already have that trust built up with you. It's not something where it feels like you're having to pull teeth trying to get them to trust you that you're an actual good contractor. They already from the start have read those reviews, they've seen your nice website, and they trust you instantly. And third, content. This is where things start to become a little unfair because when somebody sees you multiple times, you don't just become another contractor, you become that obvious choice for that client. But here's where things might get a little bit frustrating because even if that contractor starts doing all those things correctly, when that lead does come in, they still wind up losing that job. And it usually has nothing to do about the price. But let me ask you something. When a lead comes in, how fast are you responding to that lead? Because what we see all the time is a contractor who says that they're calling the leads, but when you call the leads 20 minutes later when that lead comes in, an hour or the next day, that's not really taking care of that lead. And by that point, the homeowner has probably already picked another contractor and gotten another estimate. Because we've constantly in the past had contractors tell us that these leads are horrible that we're getting them, but when we dig deeper, we find out that these contractors contractors aren't calling the leads until 45 minutes after that lead comes in. And that's not the bad leads problem, that's bad timing. And this is usually where things start to click for a contractor that we work with. The problem isn't just getting more leads, the problem is what happens after those leads come in. And honestly, this is something that we look at constantly all the time. And if you want, we can break this down for you, showing you exactly how you're ranking on SEO and how your ads are performing and can be improved. And we do this for free, not a pitch or anything like that, just showing you exactly what could be improved upon. Because once you fix that part, that's where everything changes. These contractors that are winning out there aren't doing something insanely different. They're doing the simple stuff, but just a lot better than any of the other contractors in their area. They're doing the basics very, very well. So when someone's looking for a contractor, they're being visible there. If someone's needing help with any type of service, they're making sure that their business is being visible and that trust is being built right from the start. And that's it, because if you're missing any one of those things, your leads could be falling apart or not having all the proper care that should be there. And this is what you can look at when you see those other contractors that look like they never struggle or never having a problem with their lead flow. It's because they don't need more leads, it's just because they're taking care of the leads that are already coming in. They're doing a better job of taking care of that client and customer. And it's because they've built a predictable system that when a lead comes in, they know how to convert them. And if you want that same thing set up in your business, come with the word audit. We'll show you exactly what's missing in your business. And if anything, we just want to help. We'll show you exactly where you're invisible and where you're missing out on a ton of leads.